What's up? You're listening to the Inner Child Check-In. My guest today is a comedy friend of mine. We known each other for a long ass time. James Davis.
Yeah.
What's
Thank
up?
you. Thank you for having me. I've known you for at least 10 years.
Yeah,
Easy.
I didn't want to say it, but I was like, damn, it's been almost.
When you know somebody 10 years, it's like it either ages you or we was like in middle school together.
Right.
And
true.
Unfortunately, it's not the second
We
option.
didn't. Yeah. No, we weren't in school together.
We've known each other for 10 years as adults.
Damn. Fuck. It's been a smooth 10 years. I feel like we've grown a lot. I've seen you change.
I definitely am
nicer
changing. Now. Yeah, sure.
You're nicer now.
I'll take that. I feel like I'm more open and vulnerable, which makes me nicer because I was never mean. Like I wasn't like
you were never mean.
I wasn't like talking about you or like.
Damn, I was talking about you. No, I'm kidding.
But like I've never like like been rude per se.
Open is a good word.
Very closed off.
I wouldn't say we were strangers, but I wasn't in your circle. You didn't let me in.
I don't really have a circle
anymore.
No, or not even like the hilarious. I mean, well, yeah. I mean, that is. I feel like growth and just the grind. Yeah, I don't really have a circle per se.
Let's set the tone for how I want to do, because I don't really want to talk to adult James. I want to talk to the little kid James.
Okay.
Like who James was.
Okay.
5 to 15 years old.
Okay.
James. And I want you to answer from that place. Like, as adults, we learn to be guarded with our emotions. Mm-hmm. We learn to be very logical too, but we learn to put them in boxes. And so I want us to have that kind of thing. But first, inner child, a lot of people don't know what it could be like in that they could have an inner child wound.
Break it down.
Here we go. Because I actually, I got some things. So here are 3 signs that you could have an inner child wound. And after I say it, I want us to say if we're guilty of these.
Okay.
You might have an inner child wound if, number 1, as an adult, you help others but neglect yourself.
I do that.
I'm very guilty of that.
Okay.
Extremely guilty of that. And this wound actually comes from some type of emotional neglect. As a kid, you try to please people to get more attention or get better treatment.
Are we going to just list them all, or are we going to sit in each one?
Well, that's number 1. Let's sit in this one.
Okay.
So where did your people pleasing?
So parents divorced at an early age.
Mm-hmm.
I spent a lot of time, I realized, by myself, but not by myself. So I spent a lot of time with my grandparents. Mm-hmm. And so, but when you're at your grandparents, you're still kind of by yourself. Like we're not like I never was alone, mm-hmm. right? But like vibing with my grandma and my grandpa is like,
it's different. They already raised their kids. They're supposed to be in a different role at that time.
Yeah, exactly. So like they just give me whatever I want. You know what I'm saying? Just feed me whatever I want. And like we're connecting, but it's like as far as peers my age, mm-hmm. I'm alone, mm-hmm. And on my grandma and grandpa's street, it was a little, it's not dangerous, but the safest thing for me was to just stay at that house rather than run the street. Mm-hmm. Like, because I had a friend and I was running the street, and then literally my grandpa was like, I don't want you to hang out with that person, so just come on back. And that person ended up stabbing somebody and going to jail. So my grandpa saw it. So, and then I think also I grew up off Crenshaw. A lot of times the safest thing for me mm-hmm. was to kind of keep to myself. I had a best friend, next door neighbor, who's like a brother to me. His family is like my family. But like still that was just one person. And so there was just a lot of times my mom worked very hard. Like mm-hmm. shout out to her. She was city attorney of multiple cities. At one point in high school, she was driving to Oceanside and back, mm-hmm. and sometimes staying in Oceanside, and I would stay by myself or stay with my grandparents. So I just feel like I had a lot of
So as a kid though, like if you could think like how do you feel like emotionally you were processing all of this, and where did the try to get the people pleasing come from? Like who was you trying
So that's what I'm leading up to, is just the fact that like I was an only child as well, so I I wanted, I saw people with siblings. I wanted lots of friends. And I was in situations a lot of times where I was by myself. So then when I'm around people, it's like I'm almost in subconscious recruiting mode of like, if I'm hanging around you, I want you to like me, and I want to do things to people around me so I can recruit the people and have people around me. Just have people giving, I guess, stroking, not, I wouldn't say stroking my ego, but just, the self-esteem of just having people like you and having people around. And like, I think I've just I just grew up, and as a kid, I just wanted people to like me.
Yeah, and I guess I always see being the only child, like, yeah, you would look for a brother in some people, or look for that siblingship in people. Because, yeah, I grew up with 4 other siblings, so those are the people, growing up. Yeah, I feel like I was never alone. I was never lonely. I wish I could have been lonely because there was just too many fucking people in the house, really. But yeah, your siblings, they are kind of like your pack.
That's your gang.
Yeah.
And so like my cousins, they would come around, but then they would, they wouldn't. And like my mom's 2 brothers, their kids were like, not growing up in their house per se. So like they'd come and then I wouldn't see them for a while. Or like even my one cousin who's out here, I'd see her, but then I might go a month, maybe 2 months, maybe not more than 2 months, but like I'd go times without seeing her. So even though we were close and like siblings as well, there's just times, like my whole childhood was me in situations where like I low-key was like by myself or alienated. Like I skipped 2nd grade. So midway through elementary school, I switched classmates. And like I was in a small elementary school where like your grade is your class.
Why did you skip 2nd grade? Because you was too smart?
I was too smart.
Talk your shit. I graduated early. Talk your shit.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like it's funny when you were like 5 to 15, I graduated, I was 16. I turned 17 like a month later. But
yeah, me too.
Yeah, so it's like, but like when I skipped that grade and I was in the new grade, I remember the people in my past grade kind of looking at me like, why are you leaving us? And then the people in the grade I was with, from that point on, I was always one of the youngest people in my grade. Yeah. And so they're looking at me like, you were young, you like some kind of, you skipped a grade, like you a nerd. I'm like, I'm not a nerd, I just skipped a grade. Like, I'm here with you, hanging out. Like
it was a realization for me where I was kind of like, yeah, it's not that it's not cool to be smart, but the cool kids weren't.
Yeah, it wasn't like a flex.
But I also wasn't not cool because I was cool with them, but I almost had to hide that, like, it was like a secret alter ego. Like, by day, I'm cool at school, but I'm really doing homework at night.
You're like,
and y'all not.
And here's the thing, I was somewhat doing homework. That's how smart I was. I just was really just getting through, I was passive. Naturally smart.
Yeah.
Enough to, like, get into good schools and not fail out.
Yeah.
But, so there's just multiple situations where like, yeah, even if you're like in an AP class or you're doing something that's, I remember going to a conference where I was like, like, I don't know, like top 10, I don't know, something like you're a smart dude in the country.
Right.
And it's like, but the homies are never coming to these things.
No, it is.
And then I played golf in high school since 12. So my main sport was just me. I'm always alone.
Hold on, you was playing golf in high school?
I was on a high school team.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's some Cali shit.
But
because I can't think of any
high school
East Coast schools. Maybe they do have golf.
I mean, it's a thing. It's a thing. High school golf is a thing. Because then there's college golf and then professional golf.
Damn, I'm open to a whole new world now. I didn't.
Yeah, but I mean, I have friends in golf, but there's a lot of times where you're just going and you're playing by yourself. You're practicing by yourself. It's not really a team per se. So there's just so much in my life where I'm like tunnel vision by myself that I think when I'm around people early on, and I think of recently I'm not as much that way, but like I was like, I want to keep my friends.
Yeah.
I want to keep the people who mess with me. I want to keep them around, even if I have to do more. And then I realized that like, then as you get older, you realize like
that's not sustainable.
or yeah, exactly. And also like, damn, were we really tight, or like was part of this friendship me just needing a friend? And then when you look back and be like, I don't even know if this is like as healthy of a friendship as I thought it was, versus like, damn, I know for a fact sometimes I've gone to hang out with a friend and realized like I'm going more because I just want to be around somebody than like I'm getting a lot out of this hangout.
I've been there before too. to me, it's not as dangerous with friends. It's dangerous with guys if I'm fucking them.
For sure.
That's way more dangerous to just be like, oh, I need to fill this void right now, so I'm gonna go fuck this person. That's.
I'm at that place too right now. Like I'm at that scary healed place where like I'm Batman. I just go home. Like I can like my self-worth is on 100. Like
right.
like it's all about my peace. Like you bad, but like are you gonna disrupt my peace? Cause you can I'm not like just campaigning for. I used to like campaign for people to like me or just need to be in a relationship to have somebody to just cuddle with and just make me feel loved, and like my self-love is like going ham right now. So I'm just like, man, like I'm just whatever on everything.
It
like,
does feel
I'm
good.
water. I just flow. You know,
that's
like,
how you feel. I'm glad, yeah.
Man, for real, like, and not taking things personally, and realizing that everybody's dealing with their own thing. Like, I took everything, like, as a child, me took everything personally. I took everything that someone else did or did not do. If you didn't invite me somewhere, I took it all as a mirror of my self-worth. Anything the girl I was dating was doing was all a mirror of my self-worth. Even if she's dealing with a bunch of stuff and it's clear that she has her own issues, no matter what, like it's all about me.
Yeah.
And where I'm failing and here or there. And like that was me, I mean, until probably like a year ago, where I just like a little situationship, whatever, just ended, and I was just like, I'm gonna just sit in this. Actually, I'm not gonna like rush, because you know what it is. I've also identified so many things about myself that I need to heal, fix, upgrade. That like I don't even want to come to my next relationship until I have a lot of those boxes checked off. Because I also be like, man, some of that shit I deserved. You know, some of that, it was just like where I was at. You know, like I can't be expecting life to give me all this high level blessing and favor when I haven't raised myself up to receive it or mirror it. You know?
Your actions have to meet, like, your decisions have to be for the life that you want. You know, like every little decision is like, okay, if you have a life that you want in your mind, your daily, what you decide to do. Because after them days, it turns to weeks, and then them weeks turn to months, and then the months turn to years. You're like, why am I not doing what I wanted to do? So that the first one, that was a good exploration of the neglect of self. And I think that's where you have to draw the line with your inner child self of like,
it's so uncomfortable to do the opposite. Like that's what I still worry about or like struggle with. Like someone will ask me to do something and like I'll say no or I won't do it, but like I have to like literally talk myself into like, it's cool, bro. It's okay that you're not gonna do them that favor. It's okay that you're not gonna show up to that thing. Like it's okay that you don't want to talk to that person right now. Like if you don't feel like if it's disturbing your peace to call this person back right now or deal with this person, like it's okay, bro. It's okay to be selfish.
And know that they not thinking about it that deep either and villainizing you. At least they shouldn't be, you know.
And if they are, fuck them.
Yeah, because it's like, it's just going to come down to me or you.
Me or you. It's me or you.
And I don't like that I've chosen a lot of friends and relationships where they'll keep me like, well, me. And I'm like, well, you. And I'm picking you and you picking you. This not going to work. So who's picking me?
Nobody.
And that's like,
Nobody.
Oh, hell no.
And then you leaving hanging out with people feeling drained and you feeling like, damn, nobody messes with you. And it's like, nobody messes with you. You don't even mess with you.
Facts.
Like that's when you sitting really like damn, nobody fucks with me. Like I don't even fuck with me. Cause I'm doing shit other people want me to do instead of what I want to do.
Cause I've drained my light and pour, like, you know, it's like I've given everybody so much of my light that it's like, bro, you gotta recharge, and you gotta at some points, it's just that.
Well, and also when you get a calling to be great, which I know you have as well, it's like, man, I've missed workouts to hang out with people. Like just simple productive things that are great for me to do something for somebody else or with somebody else, and after a while you're like, nah.
Because it's genuinely painful when you realize they won't do the same thing for you. Like in a lot of situations and ways, you will have people's back and help them out and put them in position to do shit. It's like,
and you see people who are selfish getting ahead because they're just like, damn it, like nah, I can or I can't, but like I'm gonna do what I gotta do for me.
And it's not wrong to be selfish.
Oh no,
like it's not, but Yeah, I realize I'm a giver, so I have to be friends with other givers.
You know who hates selfish people?
Who?
Takers. And I didn't realize that either. The people who villainize you for being selfish are takers.
They want your time, they want your energy, they want your resources, they want your encouragement, they want,
Because I'm a giver. If somebody's like, I can't, I'm like, cool. I can't make it cool. Like, cool.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay. Like,
because I got a table of food. I wasn't expecting you to bring one thing to make the whole barbecue.
Care of me.
Like, I'm fine. I'm straight.
Yeah, I got hobbies. I got things to do. I got, the people locked in with me. It's like, I'm water.
Yeah. That's a good place to be. So that's the first one. The second sign that you could have an inner child wound is when showing emotions and receiving emotions makes you feel awkward.
I don't know what that wound is, but I for sure got that. There was a time, and it's all connected to loving yourself, I think, and self-worth. Because I think receiving emotions is emotional
you just
intelligence.
might not have gotten that, because all the listeners and people too like that, there's so many people who don't have families, who don't have friends or people who just growing up, they didn't feel and didn't receive the love. And so getting it now as an adult could be awkward. Like for me, my dad is I know he loves me, but he's not a talker. And so dealing with men's emotions in relationships is like, what is this?
It's crazy. I grew up the same. I struggle with dealing with men's emotions. I think I'm more. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm way more open to women's emotions than men's emotions because, of course, I have the highest respect for the women in my family.
And women are more free to show it.
Yeah, but like when, if a homie is like coming at me like on some real emotional, I'll be like bro, like.
Because growing up, what men did you see show emotions and deal with emotions? Like if something bad happened in your household or if something like a big life-changing moment, like how did the men talk about it and deal with it?
Denzel and Glory, still-faced, maybe a teardrop. No, Denzel without the teardrop.
Right.
Like, no.
It didn't happen.
It was just like we keeping it gangster. I remember the first time when my great uncle died, my grandpa was just like keeping it gangster. Even when my grandfather died, like everybody, and like my grandfather's like the patriarch, like we all like that's my dog, like that's like honestly like my second father, but like a wreck, crying, like crying,
letting it all out,
like tried to give a little speech, started crying, you know when you fighting during the speech, like I shouldn't be up here, but I'm gonna get this thought out. I remember I said the stupidest thing. I was like, he bought me improv class. Like it was just like some. I remember my boy being like, you we know you love him, but the speech was not good.
He brought me an
improv class.
But how was the reception though? Was the family on the same vibe? It's all about the audience.
It wasn't no clap. It was just like, yeah.
But people wasn't looking at you like,
no, we not really. And my mom, and like that's like her hero. She like, my cousin, she was like, your mom almost broke, but she didn't. Like almost, like it would have been bad for her to cry.
Because in my mind, your mom the women are crying too.
Yeah.
But no even.
My grandma literally. You would have thought she might have did it. Like how still faced and gangster she was. I'm talking about she was like tis life. Now,
because what, after you done spent 65 years
and they
with
was
somebody,
married over 60 years.
Yeah, it's like, look, we did it. It wasn't no more life left for us to live. We lived it.
We did it.
We lived it.
We both ain't moving around like that no more. So
I think that's beautiful.
So, but like, and
to grow old with somebody,
And I don't know what emotion she had behind closed doors, but with my family, all your stuff got to be behind closed doors. Like, nobody really.
But as a child, it's like, if I don't see y'all's emotions, because as an adult, you can see that, but it's like as a kid, if I don't see your emotions and how you deal with them, then how the fuck am I as an adult?
Yeah.
Like I just thought my dad didn't have any emotions, and now I'm like, no, him and my mom probably have emotions together, and they, have their arguments and have their things, but he don't show me when he's sad or when he's mad or when it's just.
You know what? Actually, my dad, he slightly shows emotions, but doesn't. In a way that I'm glad that actually I've picked up from all the men in my family is like I've never seen any of them like yell at nobody or like lose their cool. Like I remember like even if my dad was getting mad or I was saying something to like he would just be like he just always stay in his frame. Let's talk later. Like never seen. The only time I seen my uncle kind of loke up on this one guy who might have like gotten too close to me or his daughter, but like even besides that, like nah. Only time my grandfather ever raised his voice is like him and my grandma always was like just talking shit back and other. And so she would always just get to a point where he had to be like raise his voice and be like enough. And she'd be like, all right.
Okay, I didn't push the
But
limit.
he would never just be like, shut up, or it was never like,
fuck up, bitch.
yeah. I ain't never seen none of that.
So like, say even a breakup, did you get to see any uncles or cousins or any men deal with like a breakup in a way where they really, or the things that you felt as an adult, like damn, it hurt to lose that woman. It hurt to lose that, and you didn't.
Nope.
Show it.
My mom, she was, which I respect, but she never was like, yo, dad, or like she didn't allow nobody really down talk my dad. So then I didn't really have the emotion of their breakup. I just knew they were divorced because they're not married. But like I don't know any of the. Only till a lot later did she talk a little bit about, you know, some of the struggles that they had. But even with that, it's like never an emotional. She's teary-eyed or looking hurt. Like she's always like strong. You know what I'm saying?
Well, what about your dad? Like, did even just aside from like the anger or the problems and the arguments show that it's like it was hard to lose your mom and it's hard to lose a partner that you're thinking and here's how you deal with a breakup and here's what you know, it's like.
You know what I will say? I think it kind of maybe hurt me a little bit was that my mom and dad had a mutual respect. Not a friendship, but like a mutual respect where I could tell that they both had a love for each other that like allowed them to not, there was no bitterness or like what's your mom talking about or like my dad always called me, you get a birthday present for your mom, you get a Mother's Day present for your mom, like making sure that I was doing my part to like show my mom love. So like I always felt like people should be able to be like that after a breakup and like to not have like a bitter resentment to the person after a breakup. And sometimes you just really got to cut that thing off.
Yeah.
No matter how at peace or how much love you have for that person or respect, the healthiest thing to do is to actually not try to be friends afterwards.
I thought that being friends was like like you said, I thought it was like the mature thing to do. But now I realize if you don't have kids with that person, just move on with your life. Yeah, you don't gotta hate them. But move on.
Or just ask yourself like, is this a friendship or is it an emotional crutch? Holding on to an attachment?
Yeah.
Attachment versus friendship.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's like you ready to see this nigga date somebody?
Right.
Can this nigga tell you how he fucked somebody last night? Do you really want to hear that? You don't.
I got to the point where it didn't bother me.
I know at some point you do, but that's when you're ready to be.
Because you was doing it while we was together, you know. So now it don't hurt, you know.
That's
it used to hurt.
On and off toxic, it's different. I know, like those kind of ones. It's like we might as well be cool because we was, yeah, exactly. Now we're just open about the fact. Side note, that's a whole nother podcast. When you are cool with your ex afterwards, that's when them lies become uncovered because they so comfortable. They be like, yeah,
it's still some shit I took to the grave.
No, for sure. But like you start slipping up. Like my ex was like, yeah, you know, I'm sure I've had homeboys say they liked me before, and I was like,
oh really?
That's crazy because I was insecure when I was calling out them same people who I knew liked you too. I just wasn't confident in my.
Right.
No, it's like no, I seen it, but now that we cool and it's years and years later,
you'd
be like, yeah, no, they did like me.
Of course,
yeah, I knew that, but I was crazy at the moment.
Yeah.
But now that we friends, you can't remember all that's small stuff. Yeah, big stuff go to the grave.
Got to.
Yeah. But small stuff get uncovered.
I'm sitting here thinking about it now, getting scared, like, oh shit. Yeah, and some things too, like even for an ex, it's like you take that to the grave too, because I don't need to know. I don't need to know that the bitch I thought you was fucking you was fucking. I don't need to know it now.
How does that help me? Because honestly, the past is the past. I've had those thoughts sometimes too. Where I'm like, I just need confirmation, and then I'm like, why? Now I just confirm it for myself. Because honestly, we're not like most of the time. First of all, when we're thinking about past relationships, we also have to give ourselves grace because we were young. And so
and you didn't know till you go through it.
You didn't know, or you didn't have confidence once again in yourself to be like, no, I'm not stupid. I'm not gonna get manipulated. Like that,
and you think it's gonna work out with this person, and it don't. Yeah.
But
yeah, I think it's heavy moving on.
But definitely just with emotions like that, I've never thought about it like that. Like I definitely didn't deal with I didn't grow up seeing my inner child was not exposed to a lot of emotions, and I remember very early somebody just telling me like it's not about you. I think I was having like being a brat and from that moment on, I just always have in my head it's not about me, which is great as far as like not being too self-absorbed. But then you hear that too much, and then you're like, it's not about me. Like, damn, how I feel. And it's like, no, it is about you a little bit.
I pull that out when I feel myself about to tip to the crazy scale. I'd be like, Cynthia, it's not about you. Like everybody has their emotion, this. But yes, I have learned too. Like, growing up in a big family, so many people, my emotions and how I feel, I had to go with the family. I wasn't allowed to act out. I wasn't allowed to be like, I don't want to. So yeah, now I allow myself to be like, no, because it is about me.
Yeah,
it is. I don't like this.
Yep. If you eating the food and you don't like it, you don't have to keep on eating it.
Right. And as a kid, you be like, your so and so bought this, you better do this. So yeah, it is the freedom of knowing that, and just with emotions and learning past information, I realized I don't need to confirmation. It's better for me not to know, because then I could just be like, maybe it's not, maybe it's this. But I used to think I need to know everything, and I realized my brain is only so big, and they can't have all of this information. Useless information.
Useless. That's it. It's
like I need
save
room
that for something productive.
Yeah, some financial advice, some fucking resources, some mental tools, anything, but just, you was fucking with this bitch, or you said this about me, or you went over here and did.
Because even then, it's like what they did is a reflection of what's going on with them, not you. Either way.
Yeah.
You find out this nigga fuck four random people and 2 of your cousins. Like, okay. At the end of the day, that's what he was on.
And my emotional digestion, like I'm still digesting shit from 3 years ago, so I don't got room for this to digest more information. Like I don't have the emotional colon for it.
Yeah, there's definitely like a waiting list of things for me to digest. Then I'm gonna get like people's death. I'm like, I'm fucked up about that, but I
can't.
I probably won't be able to process that till December.
Can't. Like, no.
Maybe early next year.
It still feel like, with certain people, it just feel like I haven't seen them in a while.
Yeah, it's just like it's above my bandwidth.
And I'm just like, I'm gonna run into them. I don't want to think about it because I'm gonna cry. Okay. So number 3 sign that you could have an inner child wound is you always criticize yourself.
Damn, I got all the wounds.
Yeah, I mean, well, these are 3 signs. I got all the wounds.
I got all the wounds.
Who criticized you the most growing up?
I guess I have like this. I view my childhood in a very positive light, and I feel very loved. And because of that love, I think I digested things as love. But there was criticism. Like my grandma sometimes would like lightheartedly criticize me. What I'm wearing, my outfit. Then when I dropped out of college, she'd be like, you need to finish college. So little things like that.
So somebody probably listening like, wait, that's not criticism, that's life advice.
That's life advice.
And then I dropped out of college, and
she was saying that
robbed the bank, and she like, don't do
I was
that.
on TV. I was on Wildin' Out. I was on Real Husbands of Hollywood, and she was like, you need to get your degree. I was like,
for what?
It's working. The plan is working.
Listen, I very much, as a college dropout, believe in the degree of life.
Yeah.
I gotta, I'm out here getting real life experiences. Some people in high school got degrees, and then, not high school. You should. Yeah. Some people I went to high school with, I saw them go get their college degrees, and then after they're done and they got this whole degree, they're working at American Eagle.
Yeah. It's, no shade.
No shade or nothing, but it's just like, you don't. I don't think people prepare you that, like, just because you have a degree doesn't mean you get to use it.
It's not a life.
Immediately.
It doesn't prepare you just to be successful in life, for sure.
But I thought if I went to college, I get a degree. The moment I graduate, I got a job.
6 figures.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You get a house the next year.
And it's like, what? I'm a doctor now. It's like, no, it's still a...
No, if you don't use college right, you're really just 4 more years of high school. Just like upper level high school. If you don't use it right.
I don't understand people getting general degrees. Like, yeah, I got a degree in... I don't want to say anything is stupid, but it's like, I got a degree in business. It's like, that's cool, but I also feel like I could have done some courses, looked up some TikToks and some YouTube and figured out how to make some money and run business.
Yeah, and there's a cheaper...
But if I was a heart surgeon...
Gotta go all the classes. No, I don't want you to take any fast route. Do not YouTube your way into the operating room.
So I don't feel like everything requires a full 4 years of your life.
No, I get it. But here's the thing: you learn a lot about yourself. I understand if you use college right. If you like sign up for internships, you go listen to speakers and stuff, you can get a lot out of it. But if you can also just be chilling for 4 years
and making money, that's what I did. I went for a semester and I was like for journalism, and I was like, I looked at the coursework and I was like, I can learn this in a month.
There has to be another way.
I'm not gonna wait 4 years of my life for you to be like
4 years at 15,000, 20,000, 5,000. I don't care. They gonna get it.
I'm like.
But anyway, we're talking about criticizing ourselves.
Yes.
I definitely, that's one of my worst. Like, I don't really celebrate myself. I don't see myself the way other people see myself. And like, I hate watching. I post clips. It takes me forever to sit down and watch the set. I hate watching the set because I'm just looking at like, I'm just looking for something to criticize more than just enjoying myself and being like, I'm really funny. However, part of me is realizing that I'm funny because I'm finding the stuff that I want to post. I'm like, that's good. But it's like, I look at it more like that's usable, or like I have such high standards for myself too. But yeah, I hate watching footage of myself. I get off stage and I never feel like I'm the man when I get off stage. I'm like, all right, that worked. All right, I didn't like this, or and somebody be like, hey man, you killed it. And I'd be like I'm never like, thanks man, I feel the same way. I'd be like,
on to the next show.
I'd be like, you're a civilian, you would say that.
You don't get it. You don't understand how I fucked it up. I missed it.
It's a B+ maybe.
But I find myself criticizing myself for just, even if it's not even performing in any way or anything that's even related to my career, it'll just be even like, after I have a conversation with somebody, I'll criticize myself and be like, why did you say that? Why did you tell them that? Why, you shouldn't even this, or like, why did you commit to this, or why did you think you could do this, or why did you make that decision last night? Like, why did you decide to do this? Like, I'm always so hard on myself, but I feel like I just want to grow, but that's not healthy. It's not.
I don't know. It's a 50-50 thing, because I think being hard on yourself does really push yourself to grow, and I think there's a lot of people who aren't hard on themselves and they're stuck in their ways because they feel like they're fine. And so growth requires an awareness for a need to grow. And so if you're really trying to be your best self, you're looking for ways to improve at all times. But if there's something to improve, that means that there's a deficiency. And so you're always identifying what can be improved, but in doing that, you're also equally kind of always criticizing yourself.
Yeah. And I think what I learned is like staying connected to my inner child self, where a lot of times when I'm too hard on myself and I'm just this, I'm like, I just got to simplify life a little bit and just be happy, and also still, as stupid as it is, give criticism to myself like I'm talking to a 5-year-old. Because I criticize myself like the adult that I am, but instead it's like, no, criticize like, hey, so you should have done better here, but you're doing this. And then when you speak to a child and you're correcting them, like, no, you need to do this every day because you're so patient and loving and kind. When you're talking to an adult, it's like, get your shit together now, you know? But I'm still that same little Cynthia. You're still that same James. Even though we're older now, you're still that same person inside that's soft and needs to be talked to in a loving, kiddish way.
I know. I will say for sure that, like, with other people, especially in relationships, like, I don't do that, like, hyper masculine, like, talk from women where they just be like, yeah, like, hey, no. If I wanted to talk with niggas, I'll talk to niggas. I I am in tap with my inner child. But even with other people, like, yeah, I definitely want to be talked to softly. Mm-hmm. But I think it's also because I know, like, look, what y'all don't know is I'm on my head all day. Like, I'm always on me. Like, I'm always getting on me. So it's like, when you talk to me, like, even if you have an issue with me, I need respect and understanding and a tone of patience. And I need patience. Mm-hmm. I need that. If you don't come with that energy, I'm wall up real quick. Like, you might have a point, but if you're coming at me with like impatience, like in the wrong tone, and yeah, my inner child just for sure is like, nope. Nope. Mm-mm. I don't need this.
And now you are the parent of your inner child because you're the adult taking care of you and making the decisions for you.
Hey, James don't need that.
Because
little James don't need that. You
wouldn't let nobody talk to your son like that. So
you start raising your voice. It's like, hey, there's no need. Anything that's unnecessary in conversation, I'm pointing it out. And if you don't feel like adjusting it, because some people be like, no, it's just like, hey, okay, we're both right. I'm not going to talk to you, and you can go yell wherever you want to yell.
But staying with that inner child spirit, it's something my mom pointed out to me, too. Like, there's certain people where I'm like, I just don't want to be around them. I just don't for this. And she's like, if you had a kid, would you want them around your kid? Would you want them to talk to your kid like that? Would you leave them with your kid? Would you trust them with your kid? And there's certain friends and people I'm like, absolutely not. So why would I trust my inner child, my little Cynthia that needs to be vulnerable with you because you're close to me? I wouldn't leave my kid with you. And then there's some friends where I would, and I know you would take her on a shopping trip. She gonna come back better. She gonna come back happy, done learned a new hobby. You fed her. You made sure she stayed on schedule. So if I wouldn't,
my kid with you. Dang, yeah, and like, cause that's how you really can tell, like how much do you really fuck with me? Mm-hmm. Could I leave my kid with you? Cause I have a lot of, I have people who like they be friends, but they got a tinge of hate in the background. Right. So I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I could that tinge of hate. What would that do to my kid? Like, we just gonna be like, Like,
and now they don't know.
Yeah.
And they feeling weird about themselves because you done said something or you done gave them a cold shoulder. Nah, I don't want. And then there's certain people I know. I leave my kid with you. You can take him to set. They gonna walk around and everybody gonna know. This is little Cynthia. She's precious. She's a princess. Nobody touch her. She's safe. What do you need, Cynthia? What do you like?
Dang, and now there's like a list of people coming in my head where I'm like, dang, yeah, those are my real, yeah, never thought about that.
Because that's how they'll love you. That extension of protection, making sure you got food, making sure you got what you need, making sure, you know.
Yeah, no, that's deep.
So, it goes to that.
That's crazy. I thought you were on airplane
mode. So that's I feel like we talked a lot.
Yeah. Oh, so you doing like so the next episode you'll break down some more.
Yeah, I have different things. Like there's great ones, like different types of wounds too. The abandonment wound, the guilt wound, Yeah. It's deep, but I'm telling you, every time you don't know what to do, literally be like, what does kid me like? What does kid me want? Before I got hurt, before I learned people are cruel, before I lost friends, before I got cheated on, before niggas did this to me or bitches did that to me. Who the fuck was I? What did Cynthia like? What did Cynthia think? Who the fuck? And when I go back to that person, the happiness and the protection that I find for myself, and just, it's like I'm my own little kid, but I got to be a parent and an adult. But I'm like learning how to reparent myself daily, but stay connected and be like, because when you're an adult, you just want to hide your light, and you let that shit go because you get so hardened.
Yeah. This has been very productive.
Yeah.
I'm going to tap into my inner child a lot more moving forward.
And all the things that you wish that you had growing up when you felt helpless or you felt like nobody explained this to you or nobody did this, I'm my parent now. I can make sure I have what I need. Like growing up broke, I didn't have no fucking money. Nobody was taking care of me. Now I'm like, no, Cynthia, if we want something nice, I can get it for you because I'm your parent and I'm the adult taking care of you. We have what we need. If you feel like, oh, you're restricted, you can't do this. No, I'm in charge of you. You can do whatever you want. That you get to fill in the needs that you didn't have. and so that your inner child can feel safe. Like, yeah, we didn't have that back then, but guess what? Adult me got it now. Like, and we good.
I like it.
So ending on a happy note, I want to be like,
by the way, this is crazy. Like, I would have never signed up to be this open and personal. This is probably the most open and personal and vulnerable I think I've ever been.
Do you feel invaded? Was I invasive?
No, I mean,
okay.
I didn't talk about anything that. Yeah, no, but it's just. It's funny, as a comedian, you can tell a joke about yourself and feel like you're being personal, and then you realize, like, I'm just saying something about myself.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I'm not. I just realized I'm being so less vulnerable than I thought I was.
Yeah. But you gotta, that's where sitting with yourself, feeling the emotions, feeling the vulnerability, going through it for at least 3 weeks a month, conquering it, and now you can talk about it on stage and be like, this is actually really when I get down to the root of what the emotion and vulnerable root was like. Nah, I was feeling, and it's funny as fuck. Because, it's like, life is comedy, and the truth, to me, makes me laugh the fucking hardest.
Oh, yeah.
So when people could really be like, nah, like, this happened, and this is really how I felt, and they're not just making a joke out of it. It's like, damn, you talk about some real shit that people deal with, like. But was this helpful?
So good.
Okay,
so
good.
You know what's funny? When this ends, I'm gonna record a quick reel because the lights are
we definitely got time.
It's just a green screen. I won't really need you. It's just a solo.
Hey, do you, James?
I'm just kidding.
It's James Littleware. We just living in it, you
know? I'm just gonna use the sliding.
Yeah. No.
But this is nice. Thank you for having me.
So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to try at the end of the episodes taking deep breaths because the listeners, thank you guys for listening and sticking with us. And I hope that you've learned through our stories as well.
I hope my life is not boring to you.
No, I think people...
I'm still fine with it. I'm confident.
I think it'll help people to be like, damn, I go through a lot of the same things too. I deal with a lot of things too. And people who know that you're funny and get to see all of your humors, it's like, yeah, people deal with real shit.
And then next time someone says, get out your feelings, you tell them no. I'm sitting inside of here, and I'm not leaving these feelings till I feel like it.
Exactly.
Mother feeler.
Aw, damn. I love cussing. I'm glad I'm an adult. That's the one thing I like being an adult. So let's take 3 deep breaths, and then we're going to connect to our little selves, and then I'm going to ask you this question. Okay, ready? So you're picturing you, whatever your favorite outfit was growing up, wherever was your happy, safe place as a kid. Let's take 3 deep breaths. Listeners, you do it too. Inhale, exhale, you're visualizing yourself. You're little, my hair is so fluffy and crazy long. And you see you and you're there. Now, what do you want to say I forgive you for?
I forgive you for being so afraid of so many things that you shouldn't have been afraid of.
That's deep. For me, I would say I forgive you for trying to listen to the rules that everyone else around you was making. And even though you felt like you had a fire inside of you, I forgive you for letting that fire die for a long time for others and kind of letting people smother your flames. It sounded better in my head.
No. I totally got it. I thought that was deep though.
Yeah.
Following other people's rules.
Yeah. For my motherfucking life at that.
Yeah.
Well, you're a kid, you don't know, but I'm like, I don't believe in that. I don't think that that's true about life. I don't want to be like that with other people.
That's one thing about skipping 2nd grade that forever changed me, was it let me know that, like, some people are different.
Yeah. And,
like, their path of going to 2nd grade and 3rd grade wasn't my path. And, like, I'm like, so what else? If I can skip 2nd grade and I didn't need that, why do I need this? Or, like, why do I... If they say it's going to take you 10 years to make it to this point in Hollywood, why skip 2nd grade? Why can't it happen in 2 years, in 3 years?
Because I know my brain.
You know?
in school, you will slow yourself down. Like, I didn't skip till like my last year to graduate early with my friend, but I remember being in kindergarten, and this is when I was so used to being with my mom was a teacher and being around 10th graders. So I'm like, I'm listening to all the 10th grade work. So then when I had to go and actually be a kindergartner, and I'm sitting there, and we had to learn the vowels, and we had to take a test on it, and I get the paper, I'm like, A-E-I-O-U. And I look around, I'm like, I'm done. She's like, well, you have to wait for everybody else to finish.
You're like, why?
And I'm looking around the class like, how fucking
people
long?
People are like, ooh, hey, ooh, E-I-O, ooh.
And I'm sitting there, I'm like, and I got so bored that I started memorizing.
You being in kindergarten, like, why? What are y'all working on? It's 5 sounds. A-E-I-O-U.
For real. I'm like,
are y'all writing X down? Y'all writing V?
And it was so hard. And I'm looking around, and I was like, I can't get up. I can't do anything. I feel trapped in my own fucking body and brain. So I just started memorizing it backwards and being like, okay, well, if I can say the vowels forward, then let me say it backwards. Let me try to make things out of it. I just had to start at a young age playing with my own fucking brain because everybody else in my class was moving at their pace. God bless them. But I had to always, that's why I always hang out with people like 10 years older than me. And I always hang out with people, because people my age, I'd be like, you don't get it yet. Yeah. Like, you don't know.
FYI, I'm not 10 years older than her.
How old are you? We don't have to talk about it.
I don't care what the ages are. I'm not 10 years older than you. I will not allow it.
Okay.
And neither will my inner child.
Yes, and you know what? And that's what we're here for, James. All right, so thank you guys for listening to Inner Child Check-In, and I hope that this helped you check in with your inner child today. Don't forget to love yourself, compliment yourself. Follow James. He done pushed the mic away, but yeah, follow him on all his platforms.
At the James Davis, THEE James Davis. At the James Davis 3 on TikTok.
All right. From my inner child to yours, have a good day.